red light therapy was used to grow plants in space, but nowadays they're using it more and more for medical purposes and other purposes. Today we have with us Mr. Bill Wiedemann. Hi, I'm Trish Gleason, and we'd like to welcome you today, Mr. Wiedemann.
Hi, how are you doing? How's everybody doing today?
Good. Well, let me introduce you a little more appropriately. Mr. Wiedemann has invented, he's the creator, owner of a product, and it is a red light therapy that's unbelievable. You can learn a little bit about it a little bit later. But today we want to talk about ways that you can help yourself be proactive with red light therapy. So I'd like to go ahead and turn it over to you, Bill, and you could explain what red light therapy is.
Yeah, first I'll say that a lot of estheticians and dermatologists and plastic surgeons are using red light therapy, and they use it essentially all for skin rejuvenation, are the things I'm saying. But red light therapy is used for many, many things. So my dad called me and said, "Hey, can I use it for this?" And I said, "Let me check." Just typed it into the internet and checked it, and sure enough, so he uses it for gout, for plantar fasciitis, lots of different things. And you can do that with anything you might be interested in. Say, does red light therapy work for this? And you can find lots of research articles on it.
Okay, but coming from you, because you probably studied it and researched it and had a lot of people ask you a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And we trust you, because if you know how to invent and create a product that applies to this, then you must know a lot about it.
Thank you.
So does it help with energizing your skin, helping your blood cells and your blood circulation? Does it help with that at all?
Well, that's a great description. So it definitely helps with that. It clarifies the skin, makes it more even tone. The skin color, redness, decreases redness, improves the health of the cells. Your skin turns over every 28 days. So you want to have, when it turns over, you want to have healthy things coming up to the surface. And if you nourish your skin with lotions and serums and things like that, and good diet and water, that's all going to be helpful. But if you irradiate it with red light, it's a portion of the sun, actually. So you could go out in the sun, but then you can get the harmful photoaging from the sun. So you can do this at home and irradiate your skin with red light, and up comes a newer, more healthy skin, and you just look better all around.
So let me make sure I'm clear, because we talked to about, we share our videos and interviews that we have with about 2 million ladies and gentlemen.
Great.
Yes, so we're happy to share this to help everybody be proactive rather than reactive when it comes to helping themselves. So we appreciate what you're telling us. So you're saying that the red light enters your body, helps circulate your blood, builds collagen, and that helps resurface, and then it makes you look like you have less wrinkles because you're getting healthier skin. Is that
right from underneath? Yeah. What happens technically, not to get too technical, because then it starts to sound a little bit like mumbo jumbo, but what happens is the red light goes in and activates processes inside the cell, and the cell creates energy from the fats and the sugar that are inside the cell. And then the cell can replicate, and the new cells can grow more quickly, more healthfully, if you will. I don't know if that's a word, I just made it up, but we'll grow better.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we'll grow better skin and better cells. So that's the whole idea. So, and if you do it preventively when you're younger, then you just maintain the benefits going on further. You don't have to do any of these invasive procedures, if you will.
So I read somewhere, did a little bit of homework, and it says it increases your energy inside your human cells. So
right, exactly. That's very well said. Yeah.
And it also helps with muscle atrophy, and it also helps with your bone density issues. Is that all?
Right. Those would be, to get deeper, you need to have near infrared and medium infrared, goes deeper inside the body. Of course, you got to have enough power too, because it's being attenuated. Maybe we'll talk about that later, about how much power you need to have to go in. But the purely red light that we can see is going to only go a few millimeters into the skin. And that's all we need for our skin, because underneath that, there's not any new skin. It doesn't grow up from skin. But if you want to go deeper than that, getting into joints and inflammation and bone density and things, then you need typically a near infrared or even deeper than that color. And it's not a color, we can't see it. So.
Okay. So as far as like what you're an expert in, your what your product is for more short, closer to the surface issues.
Right. Right,
Okay.
exactly.
So when you're looking at your red light therapy, can you give us any ideas of what we need to look for when we go out to a doctor or wherever you go to acquire a product or service like this? What, I guess they're not all the same.
Well, that's a good question. And, when I started doing this several years ago, is I found out that more than 90% of the products that are sold actually don't do anything. So to
Oh,
get you, yeah, that's unfortunate.
oh,
But to get something that works, you got to have the right wavelength first. And just for technical, it's in the 600s, mid 600s for affecting our skin and making that mitochondria get going and making the ATP. It's inside of our cells. And then it needs to have enough power to get deep enough. And different people will say different amounts of power, but let's just use 10 milliwatts, 10 to 20 milliwatts per square centimeter is the number. And if you're looking at a product, you can ask that company who makes it, what is their power? And it has to have that much power to get in. Now, I could have a much less powerful device, maybe 1/10 as powerful, but I simply then need to use it 10 times as long. You don't want to sit under something for more than 20 minutes. I mean, that's even a long amount of time.
no, no. Tell us, we want to know what you have to sit under for 5 minutes, because you think about it, if you have 5 minutes for your face, 5 minutes for your arms or
Right,
hands or your feet, or your
right,
knees, wherever your
right.
power. So
Yeah.
5 minutes sounds like a good number. So what do we need? 20?
It's about 20. Yeah. So it's a little less than 20 if you want to remember the exact number. It's 16.66, but it's
Let's say
easy just to
20.
remember 20. Let's just
Yeah.
remember 20. A little bit more is not going to cause any damage. By the way, you can use a lot more. You can use hours of a light that's going to give you the energy for 5 minutes before it's going to cause you any damage. All of these things are classified as low risk general wellness by the FDA. So
Okay.
the FDA has determined that, unless you really do something dumb like jab a corner of it into your eye, you're not going to get damaged by it. So the red light itself is not going to cause you a problem. So you could do longer. But specifically, you said, how much power does it need to have? Let's just say 20 milliwatts per square centimeter. And that's what's hitting your skin, not 20 milliwatts out here. I do have 20 milliwatts hitting our skin. So if we get too far away, you can imagine as you get closer to the sun, it gets brighter and brighter, right? If we get too far away from the red light, we're not going to have any benefit to our
Okay.
skin. So we have 20 milliwatts hitting our skin.
Hmm. So I see behind you, is that what you invented, or do you have other products besides whatever that
Yeah,
is on the shelf? Mhm.
Yeah, this is just our showroom. So I'm just happen to be sitting in front of some of our handhelds. So they have I just grabbed this one here. We have green and red, but this one is the size of it. So it's a 4-inch diameter. So if you want to use it in certain spaces, this has enough power, by the way, to do it in 90 seconds. So we
Oh,
were
really?
talking about how much power do you need for 5 minutes. This is enough power. You do it in 90 seconds, it automatically turns off and you go around. Other companies have products that, 3 minutes or so in an area, or 2 minutes or something like that, 10 minutes. But you want to determine how much power does it have. It's easy for me to say how much time, but unless I have it backed up with the power, it doesn't mean anything. So
Right.
this is just a little handheld that you would use.
Can you turn it on so we see how it works?
Oh yeah, thanks. I need you to help me sell this stuff, or talk about it. So it's pretty bright,
Right.
but
Uh-huh.
you can see when I put it in my skin, and
Yeah.
I see
Yeah.
it shining all the way through my skin. So it's very powerful.
Right. Well, I'm sure, we're here to educate and
Right.
again, as we discussed, to help proactively teach people to help themselves. So, we appreciate what you're saying, that some of the people may want to contact you to ask you about your product, but I know you're a good guy. You just want to be there to help answer questions that anybody may have. So if somebody's out looking to purchase a product like this, or at their doctors and getting red light therapy, if they have questions for you, as far as the strength of the,
Yeah.
can they email you, or?
Yeah, they can contact me. It's just Bill at Aesthetic. If you can see the name here, it's Bill
We
at
can't
Aesthetic.
quite, yeah, okay, we can
Can't
see
quite
it.
see it. Bill at aestheticSkinSystems.com. So, or just contact
Oh, we
us and
see it.
say, who was that guy?
Mhm.
And I'll be happy to talk to people, about what is the best product at different prices and different applications. So similar to, Toyota Camry is not the best car for everyone. A Toyota Prius is not, a BMW is not. You have to decide what you're trying to accomplish, and then what's the best solution for that, and what are some of the other choices for
Right.
that. So I do that all the time for people, different companies' products. I know most of the other manufacturers. You can buy a $23,000 piece of equipment to do this. You can buy a $14,000, a $9,000. They all have different benefits and do different things. Once you get a below about $3,000, you got to really be kind of careful. We're just right, ourselves, we're just right at the $2,000 point. So we're kind of at the last that you can get a full body coverage with it. Or you can do these handhelds for a few $100s. There's many companies make these kind of handhelds. So
just for the heck of it, do you have a sample of what your product looks like? Because I know you have a bigger one.
yeah, we have, let me see, I think I got one right here. So this is a flexible panel. So you can see you could hold it up over your face, on top of your head, put it on your abdomen. So estheticians and dermatologists will use this, and they'll work on the person's face and clean it, and then they'll arc it over their face and leave it on for 5 minutes. So, and you just see this is a lot of LEDs on here. The more LEDs you have, the more power you get.
When one of those LEDs burn out, how do you replace it?
We don't, we just replace the whole panel. We have a 5-year warranty on ours, but it doesn't go out. We don't have, people sending them back all the time. So an
How
LED
how long does it last, a bulb?
Yeah, an LED is typically 40 to 50,000 hours. So that would mean you'd have to have it on 8 hours a day for, let's see how fast I can do my math, more than 10 years. Okay. Right. So, we hope that you're still using our product then, but it's going to last. LED burning out's not going to be an issue. It's not like an incandescent bulb in your garage or something that we used to have. Now, many people replace those with CFLs and LEDs, and an LED just isn't going to burn out. It doesn't run out of energy. So.
So how close can you put that thing to your face or body? Does it get too hot?
Oh, no, it gets very slightly warm, but it doesn't heat up your face. You want to put it as close as you can, because the closer you get, the more energy you have going into your skin. Light is very much like sound. The farther you are away, the less energy you have. You want to get it very close to your skin. So I would say somewhere around a 1/4 inch. Once on our product, once you get to a 1/4 inch out to 3 inches, it's very uniform. So I don't need to worry about whether the nose, the cheeks, the chin, anything is getting different amounts of energy, because they're all getting the same amount of energy. It's all uniform over the first 3 inches.
Okay. I've heard girlfriends talk about how some kind of therapy, light therapy, can help reduce or help with acne, stretch marks. How does that work?
Yeah, there's specific colors for different things. So blue is a color for acne. Now you need to make sure you have the right wavelength of blue. It happens to be 415 nanometers. That's what all the studies say kills the acne bacteria. It only kills 50% of the types of acne bacteria. So blue is, and then what they do, the estheticians or dermatologists will follow up with a treatment of red to improve the circulation. The blue calms the skin down and kills bacteria if it's the right wavelength. And then they do a red treatment and it wakes the skin back up again.
So if somebody had acne, but they only had the red light therapy, it still would be helpful because it's rejuvenating and recirculating.
Yeah, and especially depending on which blue one you had. A lot of people will buy blue ones. Companies sell blue ones that aren't the actual wavelength for the acne bacteria. So they say, well, I use blue and then I use red. Well, you're getting all the benefit from the red. So if you don't have blue, you can get a lot of benefit from red, because it decreases inflammation, calms the skin down, and makes it more uniform.
Okay. I read online that light therapy can help heal a wound.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
True?
it accelerates wound healing. So the estheticians and the dermatologists and surgeons will use light therapy. Like here at my place, if I happen to jam my finger or something with a tool, I'll just quickly put some red light on it for 5 or 10 minutes, then put a bandage on. Then every time I change the bandage, I put the red light back on. There was a lady who, a lady who lived next door to one of our customers had our red light panel. Again, you can do it with any red light as long as it has enough power. It doesn't have to be ours. But she was bitten by a dog and held on here and twisted her arm all around. And it was so, I didn't want to look at it. She said, "Here, I'll show you pictures." I go, "No, I don't want to look at it." Right. So every time they changed the bandage, they did red light therapy on it. They went back in to get a checkup a week later, and the doctor said, "Boy, I've never seen anybody heal so fast." And they're very convinced, and I'm convinced many people are. It helps with healing and accelerates healing. So if you've heard of microneedling or plasma pen or microcurrent or all these other things they do to your skin to try to make it better, and a lot of them work very well. If they add red light therapy, it decreases the recovery time from that procedure and also makes the end result better.
So women especially go get face peels.
Oh yeah.
not the ones where you have to stay home from work, but just a mild peel, but you're peeling pretty good. Would it help to put the red light therapy on that too?
Yeah, another good example of that is if you know you're going to be out in the sun, maybe the Blue Angels are coming to town or something, and you're going to be out in the sun for a long time watching them looking up like this. Well, use the red light therapy beforehand, and it actually helps prevent the sunburn, the damage from the
Oh,
sunburn. And then when you get back home, use the red light afterwards, and then you're not affected by the sunburn as long. So same kind of a thing with the peel. I don't want to be the peels expert though, so always ask someone who's doing a peel, when
right.
should I do my red light therapy?
Right. Well, we want to make sure everybody watching understands that we are not giving you any medical advice. And
Right.
anytime you use red light therapy or anything for that matter, seek your doctor's advice or a specialist.
Right,
Okay?
right, absolutely. And if you want to find out again if it's helpful, just do the search online. I mean, my dad, many people have done that, or a new prospect or someone says, "Hey, can red light therapy be used for this?" I just type it in and find out.
Okay.
They type it along. So
Mhm. It sounds like something everybody should have. So the thing is, a lot of people may not be able to afford, because I know, again, we're not selling, we're just trying to make it available that people know it's out there. So whatever they're going to cost, from 1,000 to 2,000 to 20,000, maybe they can't afford that. If they go to their local doctor, or maybe you can refer them to somebody in their area. Do they have payment plans, or how do doctors work this?
Oh, sure. Yeah. First of all, if you haven't seen this, this is a wonderful thing, is PayPal has a 6-month no interest. So if you're going to go buy something online, and I think it has to be over a certain amount, maybe 199, I'm not sure. But you can put 6 months no interest, and you have 6 months to pay. So that's a nice thing. You just want to buy the product outright.
You
But
mean it's
maybe
not a
what,
credit card? It's just
no,
something
it's
you
just
don't get
PayPal.
approved. You just are there. You get approved.
Yeah, you just
Everybody's
type it.
approved.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I don't know if everybody's approved, but you type it in on PayPal and you ask for 6 months no interest. So that's
Wow.
one thing you can do. The other thing you can do, a lot of our customers, and we didn't invent this thing. A lot of our customers will use a monthly subscription. So they'll have their spa or their esthetician studio, and they'll say, "Oh, come back and use it anytime you want. It's only $100 a month or $200 a month, whatever they want to charge." And of course, it's not an issue because the person's actually holding it up, leaning back in the chair, right, for 5 or 10 minutes, whatever time they want to do.
Right.
And get an awful lot of people in it 5 or 10 minutes a day and make quite a bit of money. So
Right. I guess. Yeah. For those of you who are doctors, chiropractors,
estheticians,
esthetician,
right? Right.
estheticians, then this would be great for that. Yeah. For those of you
Yeah.
who are at home, though, for me, because remember, I'm speaking as most people are probably thinking, and that is, I want it for my face, but then I also want it for other parts that I'm maybe ailing, a knee or a back.
Elbow, back,
Yeah, it's going to
stomach.
yeah, that's right. So for me, it would be best at home. So options, if somebody wants to pay, they go to PayPal and do the 6-month thing, go to your doctor and just say, I want it now, but I'll pay you $200 a month or something.
Yeah, there you go.
They'll do it. Never know.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people have trial programs too, so you can contact the providers or the doctor and say, "Hey, can I just try it?"
Right.
So you're not going to see results in one. You will feel results from inflammation and pain in one treatment. That's the nice thing about that. Some people say, "Oh, I used it once and I saw a result." Well, I suppose some people can. Skin actually turns over on average every 28 days, so you have to do something for a period of time, and then the old skin comes off and the new skin comes from underneath. So you want to
So
be using something.
if you use that red light though for, let's say, a month, and then you
Right.
stop using it, your skin's not going to go negative backwards. It's just going to not replenish as good in the future, right?
Yeah, it's kind of similar to doing sit-ups, or something like that, or curls, or taking care of your hair, or things like that, brushing your teeth. So you need to do it on a somewhat regular basis. To start out, what's typically recommended is use it 3, 4, 5 days a week. You don't have to use it 7, but you could. And then after a few weeks, you should start seeing some results. And then you can taper off to again, just like sit-ups, every 3rd day or every 4th day, something like that. It's not the type of thing like a laser or a peel or something that you do once a month and invest 20 or 30 minutes in it. It's something that you do on an ongoing basis. Think of it like brushing your teeth, something like that.
Okay, so let's get down to the bottom line, because I know
Right.
you've got some meetings to go to. So the bottom line is, I've heard through people that it matters how far apart the little red lights are, so you don't get the dot effect all over your face, to where it's helping
Oh,
parts of you and not other parts. What do you know about that?
yeah, thanks. I think I know what you're saying. So there are some that have LEDs that are maybe this far apart, everywhere my fingers are, right? Now, they're shining like this. So you have to be far enough away from that panel for it to have even tone of light. Otherwise, I get really close, see where the light's hitting me. It's only hitting me in certain spots. There are some Halloween masks, I call them, ones that are solid, and they have maybe 49, 69 something LEDs. So they're all about an inch apart. So they're hitting your skin, and yeah, they're helping in those spots. But it's kind of like taking your sunscreen and put it on with a Q-tip and just dotting it in certain spots. It's not going to do you much good to go out in the sun after that. So you want to have, if you're going to have it close, and you want it close, because the farther away, the light attenuates as we go farther away, so you have less benefit. If you want to have it close, you need to have them very close together. So think of it as basically the spacing of my fingers here. If I do this with the red light and it's hitting at all these spaces, that's a good spacing for your LEDs if you're going to have it close. You want to have, so you're going to have a uniform coverage.
So what, like a quarter of an inch apart, the
Yeah.
light should be?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's about right. So if you do it a quarter inch apart, once you get about a quarter inch above the surface, it's all uniform. So if you took a piece of white regular copy paper and put it on top of the panel, you can see kind of where the hot spots are. If you take it up a quarter inch, then it should be all uniform. If it's not, you go back, keep going back until it's uniform. When it's uniform, that's where you should do it. You know, people
I
will,
see.
you can see on some of the products, they have lines of light, and then they take a picture of them under it, and they have a line of red light like this, a line of red light like that. It's only going to help in those spots. You know, you got to have uniform coverage. So,
Okay, so number one, we want to make sure it's got a quarter of an inch apart lights, so it's uniform, right? And we want to
and
make
enough
sure it's got
power.
enough power, right?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
if you have to put it this far away and it's got not enough power, you'd have to sit there for 3 days to get any use, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, you're about right. And there are, unfortunately, some products that the reality, that is the reality. And that's what, you know, a little hard to understand when you're first looking at it. And unfortunately, the companies that do that don't, or provide those products, don't help you. Their whole deal is to get you to buy it. And of course, you're going to use it for, you know, how many times you're going to hold this little thing that doesn't seem to be doing anything on your face and move it around. Not very long, and you're going to give up, and then they just sell one to the next person.
Right.
You know, so you want to, if you want to have something that works, you got to have enough power. You have to be close enough, but remember, you get too close, as you were saying, then there's this dead spaces in between.
Right. So what is the amount of power we need? We need quarter inch apart red lights. What power?
Well, if you're a quarter inch apart, you're tending on being very close, then you need about 10 to 20 milliwatts to get it down to about 5 minutes. Okay. There's a no, it's actually 16.66, but don't try to remember that. It's 10 to 20 milliwatts. Okay. That you need to have if you're a quarter inch away. And that's because when you're a quarter inch away, I can go out to 2 or 3 inches and the power stays the same. If I'm far away and I have the LED spaced out, and you'll find a lot of panels online, they're good. They have a lot more power. Well, they have to be, because your back, you know, there's companies that make them for hanging on the back of your door to your shower. Okay. You're supposed to hang them on, get out of the shower and spin around for 10 or 15 minutes. They got to have a lot of power because you're going to be pretty far away from it.
Right.
To get uniform energy. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So if somebody has a question, they can email you at bill@aesthetic.
Unfortunately, it's kind of long. Yeah. bill@aestheticSkinSystems.com.
Okay.
You can contact Trish. She knows how to get a hold of me. Send a message to somebody in this video, and I'll just help you understand it, trying to make it easy. It's kind of hard to understand, and a lot of companies don't make it easy to understand, which makes it even harder. So I'll be happy to talk to them and say, you know, you're trying to treat this, or do you think it has any benefit for this? There's also a lot of Facebook groups on red light therapy, and people post messages in there, hey, my dad has this, my sister has that, or I have this, is it helpful for that? And you can get a lot of guidance. And there's a few people that are good. I happen to know who gives good answers from what companies, right? And is looking out for you, not for just posting about their product.
So, well, we appreciate your expertise. So we know if somebody is in the market to go to a doctor and get service, with red light therapy or purchase one, they can at least email you and say, Bill, what the heck do you think about this one or that one? Is this strong enough?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely happy to help them. And that's why I do these kind of things, just to let people know that it's really not as perplexing as it seems to be. And it's because companies and people don't want to give you the real answers. Not so much that maybe they don't know, but if someone told you that my panel only had 1 milliwatt and you're supposed to hold it 12 inches away, well, nobody would buy it. So they can't say that.
Right. So what is the name of your product anyway? I'm sorry. I should have known.
That's okay. No problem. Illuminate.
Okay.
So.
Okay, great. Well, I cannot think of any more questions, but I think it's
Awesome.
something most everybody should have one, myself, because of the many, many qualities and services you can use it for.
Yeah,
but
many things that you can use it for. And, just again, you can look on Facebook at Facebook groups. You can fire me a question. You can find me on Facebook. You can find a lot of people that are willing to help. And, if you get kind of mumbo jumbo from someone, then obviously they don't know what they're doing. So hopefully it was clear and straightforward today for everybody.
Oh, it was, absolutely. And we know you're our support system at the least. If they're interested in your products and services, they can call you. If they are you're out in where? San Diego?
We're in California, right just south of San Francisco, and right in the heart of Silicon Valley, where all these kind of things are invented. So I invented it here and we manufacture it here and we're doing it right now. So if you hear any background noise, it's probably people putting panels together. So.
Okay, well, if some of the people that are watching may not be from California, so if they want to go to a doctor here in our area, they can email you, and hopefully you may know of a doctor that has the service. Okay.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and a lot of the companies will do, loan you a panel for a week or two, or some of them even loan it to you for 60 days. I mean, heck, take advantage of it.
Wow.
They're going to loan you something for 60 days. I don't, they'll take it back. So what the heck? Why not take advantage of it, right? Especially in these times, right?
Yes. Well, be safe in these terrible times.
Great seeing you.
Nice to see you. And please let us know if anything new comes up in the red light therapy world.
Yeah. Well, there's always new things too. I mean, if you want to look at some new stuff for skin rejuvenation, there's plasma pens. Those are really great. Microcurrent, micro needling, micro channeling. All of those things are complementary, and red light's complementary to them. So there's all kinds of things happening. And a lot of us that are on Facebook and talking about things, we just want to steer people to the right thing. We're not interested in selling what we have. We just want to steer people to the right thing. So.
Okay. Well, I guess your videos. Oh, there it is. It's fixed.
I'm back. Sorry.
Bill's back.
Hey.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming. You've been very helpful, and we
all right. Trish, appreciate it. I really appreciate being on. I know you do a lot of good work with these things, so I'm happy to be here and hopefully helpful to the people that are watching it.
Well, thanks for telling us about Illuminate.
All righty. Excellent. And the whole industry.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. All right. See you. Bye.
We're at the end of another enlightening episode of the World Wellness Show, and we want to be reminded of the incredible insights shared by our esteemed doctor. Their passion for health and wellness have provided us with valuable knowledge to enhance our well-being. We offer educational information and suggest strongly that you seek medical attention through your physician or other medical professional. Until next time, thank you for coming.